As I make these videos from time to time, sometimes more often, I am struck by how much convergence there is in our lives. And what I mean by that is that as much as some people say that they can, um, compartmentalize different things, aspects of our lives and what we do somehow they are in conversation with each other. And um, our sages, especially in the Talmudic era, used to say that every verse of Tanakh was commentary on other verses of Tanakh. And we used to do these amazing midrashim, these homiletical or like sermons, where they would take a verse from like one place of the Tanakh and tie it back to another place of the Tanakh. And the game was, how are they going to get these two things to talk to each other? And as much as I love these games, I love these mental gymnastics that our sages do. I don't actually think that in our own lives it's that complicated, and I'm always shocked at how things are in conversation with each other. So the last time I made one of these videos, I was talking about Tisha B'Av, and I told you all about the story of Kamsa and Bar Kamsa, and this notion that Jews had that it was sinat chinam, that it was baseless hatred that caused the destruction of the temple. And as it turns out, this week is the 5th anniversary of the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, and which is interesting to me. I, for a long time, thought that this rally was significant to me because my family lives in Charlottesville. I went to the University of Virginia undergrad. That these were people who were marching down streets and in front of a synagogue that I have a lot of familiarity with. And it turns out that it is much bigger than that, that this is a really significant issue, and that it comes back to this notion of sinat chinam, of baseless hatred. And yet, this week also on the Jewish calendar is something called Tu B'Av, which comes right after Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is the 9th of Av, and Tu B'Av is the 15th of Av, and it is the full moon, and it is a holiday from ancient times, post-biblical, but ancient nonetheless, where unmarried women in the Second Temple period, so before 70 CE, would come and they would dress in white and they would dance and they would look for matches, they would look for partners, they would look for love. And in the same way that Tisha B'Av is about sinat chinam to a certain degree, is about baseless hatred, then Tu B'Av is about ahavat chinam, is about baseless love. It's about possibilities and it's about hope. Um, and I love this idea that these two things are in conversation. That as much as we are seeing so much bifurcation, so much dissonance in the world, that there is also this potential of hope and love. And so much of what we're doing is trying to figure out where those pieces fit together, when it's appropriate to give love, when it's appropriate to take a stance and say, unco, like until this point and no further. Um, and so this week, as we even on the Jewish calendar experience this dance between love and hate, so too we experience that dance in our own lives on a national level, and some of us on a personal level as well. Um, and and it brings me back to this idea. I often talk about the calendar in these videos, that calendaring and sharing of time is a way of showing love. The way that we share this common language of what we're doing, what our priorities are, what's significant to us, about what's going to happen where, is a way of expressing to people what our priorities are. It's a way of expressing what we're going to be doing, and a way of inviting people to do those things with us. And so I invite you into this dialogue, into this space between um, figuring out solutions to sinat chinam and the hope of ahavat chinam. And so I wish you a a wonderful week in that balance.